Hello, my name is Natalie and welcome to my channel, Knitting-a-GoGo, and today I'm here to discuss the new Joy of Knitting KnitPro needle set that I recently purchased. So I've used KnitPro needles for a number of years in my knitting projects, and my current favourites are these KnitPro Zing circular needles that I tend to use quite a bit when I'm knitting various garments. However, a few months ago I was super excited to see the release of this particular knitting set. I think you can tell by the colours just here how I would be drawn to that. And normally I wouldn't consider investing in another sort of needle set, but as you can see here, if I open this box, I just absolutely fell in love with this case. I mean, I just absolutely love it. I love the colours, I love the style, I really love it. I loved it so much that I don't know if you can see here, but I even got my nails painted to match the colour scheme because I was so inspired by it. I just absolutely love this style. I just think it's really nice. And I was instantly drawn to it. When I saw it online, I was like, whoa, what is that? Really liked it. But also, apart from the case, because I wouldn't just buy a set of needles purely just for a case alone, there was the other thing that intrigued me in it was the fact that it has these cubic needles inside. And when I say cubic needles, I'm used to sort of rounded needles like this. But when I show you them in a minute, they're actually like cubic, almost not square, but well, cube. And I was intrigued to sort of think, well, that's interesting. I've never knitted with a needle like that before. And I did almost think, like, that's strange in my head because I've been used to a certain style of needle for so long. But before I talk about these style of needles, I just want to talk about what's actually in this set, first of all. So on the back of the box, it does have a content section where it tells you exactly what the case contains. So it says in here that there are 7 pairs of Cubics interchangeable needles made with a laminated birchwood in a vibrant purple, red and orange colour. Yeah, again, kind of my favourite colours. Packed in a richly tufted fabric case, as you can see here. It almost looks like needle punch in the style, which is quite cool. I've never done needle punch, but that looks quite fun. You get a total of 7 needle sizes in the actual set, and they are 4mm, 4.5mm, 5mm, 5.5mm, 6mm, 7mm and 8mm. You also get some accessories with this set as well, which contains 3 memory-free 360-degree swivel stainless steel cables to make needle lengths of either 60 centimetres, 80 centimetres or 100 centimetres. And then you also get 6 end caps, which is just to kind of stop your knitting falling off. You screw them on. Again, I'll show you in a moment when you need to put them on a holder, like your knitting project, and you don't want the stitches to slip off, or if you're travelling and you're happy just to take the needles off temporarily. And 2 cable keys, which is for attaching the actual knitting needles to the cable. 3 stitch holders, 3 wool needles, and 30 metal stitch markers. So let's open this case and just show you what's in here. So obviously it comes with a lovely chunky sort of gold zip here, which feels of really sort of good quality and easy to grip and pull up and pull over the case. And then inside here there's this really lovely, it's almost like on the back here it's like a suedette sort of feel, you know, full suede fabric. And inside it's also like a white or cream, I'd say it's more cream, like a suedette fabric as well. And as you can see, you've got all your needles nicely laid out there, all in the elasticated sort of, you know, elasticated fastenings there for them, as you would probably normally expect in a sort of circular needle kit. And also in here is what they were talking about with the stitch holders. And again, what I love is they come in the colour scheme. I just think that's so great. I think it's brilliant. So you've got the purple, and then you've got this kind of like goldeny, orangey colour, and the red. And the box said in total there were 30 metal stitch markers. So there's going to be 10 markers, I believe, on each of these. And they're just these little metal kind of stitch markers. I might show you a different colour because that actually pretty much matches my nail polish there. Let's see if I can show you a red one here. So they're just these cool little square little stitch markers. And then inside the actual case, there is another little pouch, which it said in the description, which is quite exciting. So there's this little one here. And if you open it up, again, it's got a slightly smaller zip on this one because it's a smaller pouch, but again, feels like a nice quality and easy to grip and open. And it's got more of the yellow and orange in this one, and a slight bit of the purple. Again, almost matches my nails there. And in here, you've got the 3 cable sizes for the needles to attach to. I think this is the 80cm one I'm currently holding up here. And there's some more in here. So you've also got 3 sewing needles, depending on the size of your yarn. So like you've got one here for like Aran weight, sort of chunky yarn, more double knitting, and then this would be sort of finer 4-ply. So I've really thought about that as well. And what I really love is, again, the colour scheme. And it just keeps it all tidy in this pouch. And also in here, they've given you 2 cable needles, which is really good. So again, you know, hopefully you won't lose one, but you've got an extra one there, or you're just using a couple at the time. And then basically what you do is you would pop your needle on there and then pop this here just to tighten it onto that. And also in here is the little needle stoppers, or what do they call them here? The end caps. And again, what I love is you've got them in 3 different colours, again, all part of the colour scheme. I love coordination. So for me, it's like, wow, this is great. So you've got orange, red, and purple. And you've got 2 of each of these. Then again, what you do is you just literally, they just go on the end here. You just screw them on like that on the end. They've got like a little thread inside so you can screw them on. And if you just imagine you've got a load of sort of stitches knitting on here, and you do the same for the other end, it just stops your knitting falling off. Or if you need to pop your knitting onto a stitch holder, as some patterns will say, then you can use that as an alternative just in your bag, which is really good. And the other thing I noticed in there as well was just a little paper pamphlet. So it's just a little diagram here, and it just tells you how to screw your needle onto the cables. And then on the other side, it's just showing you how to use the end caps, and it's got that translated in different languages there as well for you to read. Just basically translating that, how to screw the needle, how to use the end caps, and then obviously just gives you the diagrams if you're new to using circular needles in an interchangeable set. So that's really helpful for newbies, just to see how that works. Just wanted to talk again about these style of needles. So I'm just going to bring out the biggest size here because that might be easier to show you, which is the 8mm. I don't know if you can see that okay on there. Sure, if I can just zoom this in slightly, if you can see there. But as you can see, they're like really, they're cubic, you know, they're not round. If you look at a round needle, obviously round, and then you've got this kind of cubic one here, as you can see. So I kind of wondered why they designed it with a cubic needle and not a normal rounded needle. I get the fact that it's in wood. I've used a lot of wooden circular needles over the years, including the interchangeable KnitPro ones for a few years too, and they're softer on your hands than perhaps metal needles are, so you can potentially knit longer with them. So upon further investigation into looking at the benefits of these cubic needles, I came across this paragraph online, which I'm going to quote, which says, "Their unique ergonomic shape provides comfort for the hand and creates uniform stitch formation." So the polished wood surface works effortlessly with every type of yarn without slowing down knitting rhythm. These needles are perfect for beginners too, as they provide an easy grip and control over your knitting. Now, the stitch formation I found interesting, because it can depend on your yarn depending on how neat the stitches look. And yes, I do agree, sometimes some knitters have really neat knitting, like if you're doing stocking stitch it'll be really neat, whereas other people it's maybe a bit erratic sometimes and not as neat. It just depends on your personal knitting. So I'm interested to see, I mean, I think my knitting is fairly neat, but I am intrigued to see how it knits with these, and maybe I would do an example of a particular type of yarn in the rounded needles of the same size for a pattern, just a little sample and a sample in these, and just see if I can see a difference. I'm thinking maybe for a future video I might do a comparison. Please quote below if you'd like to see that. And also, again, when it was saying it works on every type of yarn without slowing down the knitting rhythm. Now I know some yarns can be splitty, and with metal needles, especially if it's a smaller needle and it's pointy, it can split the yarn as you're knitting. So I can understand how that could be a benefit as well. And yeah, they feel like they're going to be easy gripping. My metal ones, I mean, I'm used to them, but yeah, they can slide a bit more. And obviously they're round, so they're going to twist around more. But these, yeah, with the cube, they're more gripped. And I think it's probably a bit like when I initially went from knitting with a straight needle to a circular needle, where there was sort of less of a needle on my hand. I found it really strange. I'm wondering if I'm going to find this really strange knitting with cubic needles, or whether I'm just going to find it absolutely fine. It's going to be really, I'm really excited to try these. I've not tried them yet because I've only just recently got the kit, so I'm really excited to see what that will be like. So another thing, as I mentioned earlier when I was talking about what's in the contents, there is only a limited needles like range from 4mm to 8mm on these. They don't seem to do anything smaller than that. And this time of year I do tend to knit with the bigger needles because I'm looking at knitting more winter knits with thicker yarn. So I think this is all timed perfectly with me being able to try them out. So I've been thinking about what knitting projects I can start using them for, because I'm really excited to really, to try them. And the first thing I think I'm going to be knitting with them is this lovely Icelandic style jumper and skirt. Well, it is Icelandic because it's using Icelandic Lopi wool. It's a vintage pattern of mine from, I believe, from the 1960s. I can't actually see a year on it, but I'm pretty certain it's probably, I would say, towards the late 60s. And it's by a company called Reynolds, which is an American brand. But in a future video I'll be talking more about this make, if you're interested to see. Please feel free to subscribe to my channel where you'll get an instant update on the videos. And this is actually a jumper and skirt, but I just instantly fell in love with this one. I was like, wow, I so need that for winter. That would be amazing to wear. And but in the video I will be talking about how I'm going to convert that to a dress, because I wouldn't personally wear it as a jumper and skirt, and I appreciate you could mix and match then, but for me I would wear it a lot as a dress. I love thick woolen dresses in the winter time, and I just know I would love that. So I think for my first project using these needles, I'm going to be making that, so I look forward to sharing that project with you. So before I end this video, I've got some other exciting news, and that is I've recently opened an Etsy shop where I'm selling sort of my vintage 60s and 70s knitting patterns, either duplicates I've got or some that I thought other people would love. But also in my store I'm stocking these circular needle sets, these ones. I'm super excited. I know I won't be the only one that really loves this style, so I thought it'd be great to supply them and support this brand of knitting, KnitPro, and this style, because someone's put a lot of thought in, and there is a market, I believe, for these and people liking them. So yeah, if I can share these, and you want to check them out in my store, check them out. I mean, I've given some more in-depth information on them and photos, so yeah, please have a look. So as I said before, if you'd like to see any further videos, or especially like I'm going to be making this lopey skirt and jumper into a dress, and to see how I'm doing that, then please feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you'll be first to know when the new videos are uploaded. And thanks again for watching this video.